myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Zane, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Nakroth gameplay, but first, I'm going to be showing you guys the draft. I've heard in the comments that a lot of you guys really like this draft concept, where I just show you all why I pick the heroes that I do. And you know, I get it, the draft can be difficult sometimes, so I'm just going to start doing this in the start of my videos. So here, we first pick Arm. Here, I'm just turning on my microphone, don't really pay attention to that. But Kali and Arthur, right there, two low mobility heroes. And then I see the Zephy's hover pick, and it looks like an LC right now. You can see R picks a Lumia and Ryoma. You can see they end up with a Valheim. And now they have a Kali and Valheim. Those are two very low mobility squishies, and I can see from our comp that we do need a backline killer. You know, Aram, Lumia, and Ryoma can't really do much to the backline. They're more of the frontline killers, so to speak.
What do you mean?
So we did need that backline killer, and as soon as I saw that Kali and Valheim, I knew I could just instantly jump onto them, and they couldn't do anything to me this entire game. You can see the Illumi is actually diamond. Looking back on that now, I actually didn't even realize that. But yeah, Zephy's, honestly, I kind of like Nakroth versus Zephy's because you can just always out-rotate him. So you don't even have to, because a lot of you might say, oh, but Zane, Nakroth sucks versus Zephy's because he can't 1v1 him. But you don't have to fight the Zephy's, guys. You can just split push away from him, minding your own business until you're 5k gold ahead of the Zephy's, because he can't rotate a tenth of the speed that you do. Not actually a tenth of the speed, but you guys get what I mean. Anyways, let's get right into the gameplay. I hope you all enjoyed that little explanation of the draft. Again, I know that I also get some comments saying that it might be a bit difficult just going into the diamond mode, and when you first see the draft, it's difficult. I get it. So let me know what you guys think about that little thing at the start of the video. If you have any tips, leave it down below. If you hate it, let me know too. I'll take criticisms if there are any. But yeah, for now being, that will be in the start of my video. You can see here I start blue, and in ranked games I usually always start blue or towards the dragon. I like starting blue almost like 90% of my games, just because in ranked I really don't want to get invaded, because if I do get invaded, then that's probably going to be the end of the game right there, it feels like, because on Nakroth you have no mana if you don't have blue buff. That's really a necessity. You can see the Valheim runs away with 1 HP there. I'm trying to go behind here, but I can see this Kali. I'm jumping onto her. You can see I'm really saving my first kill because I didn't want to commit, but now I just saw that she used her flicker and she has to go back to mid to clear this wave, so that's the perfect opportunity to just jump right on her. You can see basic attack, use our ultimate, second part of our first kill, and we are out of there quick and easily done. You can also see that the Zephy started his blue buff because he was not ending up here, so he must be around top side right now, maybe doing sentinel, something like that. But now that we just got that kill, and you can see the numbers are very low, now that I know they're poked out, they can't contest this. And guys, look at the map right there. You have to be keeping an eye on this. Look at the mini-map. You can see the Zephy's took the sentinel. That's always something to be looking out for. You need to know where their jungler is at all times. And look at that, Zephy's again, very low HP. So as soon as I see that, I'm going to invade his blue buff because I know he started on this side. Also, I could see that under him there was no blue sigil. That's an easy way to tell if they have their buff or not, or whether it's up. If they have a blue mark on the ground like what you see right here. I feel like that's a very newbie explanation, but I've actually had comments telling me that they never realized that before. So yeah, very good by us to realize that. On Nakroth, you really just want to be staying like on the opposite side of everyone, just farming and doing your own business. This is even how pros play it in competitive scene. This is how I've seen other players do it, and I'm definitely taking notes because I do want my Nakroth to be on a very pro scene level. Like, I do want to pick him in pro tournaments, and I'm definitely becoming more and more comfortable with doing that. See a little bit of a fight going on down bot. We can't really do much about that. Zephy's at this point might be on his red buff, but again, we can't do much. I was almost going to run down bot there because I thought there might be a fight, and I really didn't want to lose kill participation. Honestly, that was like the only reason. I was like, oh, do I have to leave my red buff to get some kills? But the play there was definitely just to start my own red buff. I was just getting a bit greedy for the kill participation. See, again, they're very, very poked, and this is a pretty big misplay. Look at this, guys. I use my second skill, then I instantly use my first skill. What I should have done there is use my first skill, basic attack a few times, then use my ultimate. That would have been the key play right there. But you can see here that we make up for it. We are able to dive both of them. and we get out of tower range and we buy Soul Reaver, so we know that we can burst down that Kali as soon as we get our second skill up. Now that we know the blue buff is up, I can see it right here. As soon as I see Zephy's, I'm instantly just going to dash out with my second. I knew he must have been close by, so I really don't want to be contesting him over that. You can see I try to tease him here with my first skill. I've run in, but excuse me, guys. Sorry, gonna mute my mic to cough a bit. I'm still a little bit sick. 1 second, please. Alright, I apologize about that, but of course I don't want to be fighting these Zephy's. But again, like I was saying, you could just be fighting on the opposite side of the map of their jungler the entire game, because this Zephy's has no mobility. Nothing compared to Nakroth. So we're going to let him get his blue this time. We're not really going to contest it. Just go back to our own, slowly farm up our own jungle. You can see a little bit of a fight going on mid. Their support and mid actually dies, but our support in mid actually dies, so it was mirrored kills. You can see that there's a little bit of a fight going on, so I need to jump in here. Very nice play that we jumped in the middle of them and then casted our ult, knowing that both of them would receive damage from the ultimate. The ultimate damage is really weird, guys. It's like a huge circle around him. It's not actually just like that frontal cone that you see. It seriously is like a big circle. I'm not sure why the indication is wrong there, but you can see we just instantly jump onto the sentinel here. We know that the Zephy's blue buff is coming up, and you see that my red buff is up. But guys, when you are on Nakroth, or any jungler for that matter of fact, focusing on the enemy's jungle instead of your own is far greater, because if you think of it like that, then the enemy jungle has 2 times value compared to your own, because not only are you making the enemy jungler lose gold, but you are also gaining gold. So it is seriously double value. Here again, you can realize that I just, there's a little bit of fighting, but I'm like, no, thank you. I'm just going to go and steal your blue buff again. Thank you for that. Zephy's, what's he going to be doing when he doesn't have his blue buff? You can see Kali again leaves, but see that I basic attack there before I ult. That's a massive indication. It did like 1,000 or 1,500 damage. You have to be doing that. Here, I don't even want to talk about it. You can see from my MS at the top right, if you rewind and look at that moment, huge lag spike. But that's not really the point. The point being is when you are jumping onto them on Nakroth, you want to be basic attacking very often first. You don't want to be just using your ultimate like skill to skill to skill. You have to be weaving in those basic attacks. That is what gives Nakroth his burst. You have to be making that like a priority on him. There's going to be another example in the later part of this video, so don't worry if you didn't really catch it. You can see that this Arthur's quite low. I see sorry, I can't talk now. The Valheim all alone, but I actually die. That Arthur just abused me out of existence. I don't even know. His ultimate and execute was actually an insane amount of burst that I did not expect, but we did end up dying there. Something we should have done better. We definitely shouldn't have dove that. We were getting too greedy for kills, and honestly, when I'm carrying like this in a game, you really shouldn't be trying to kill yourself like that, because I just feel like when I'm carrying a game and I die once, the game instantly becomes 10 times harder. And that's not even a joke. I seriously feel like it becomes 10 times harder. And you guys probably, who know what it's like to be carrying and then you die once, you'll know exactly what I mean. Because then, like, the last hope for your team has died, so to speak. So definitely that was a very greedy play. I should not have done it. You can see that I'm pretty sure that the blue buff's about to be spawning again, but again, there's not much we can do about it. Get the dragon. We're just going through our full jungle clear at this point, since it's all up. We might as well. And going to be clearing the bot wave before we do anything else. There's really no objectives down here though, so besides this, we should really either split push, again, Nakroth being one of the best split pushers, or we can invade. The blue buff, like I was talking about, was up. I'm surprised the Zephy's didn't take that, but we are just going to take it if he doesn't want it. And look at this, guys, again, just all the constant basic attacks left that Arthur at such a low amount of HP. He would have lived with like 50% if I didn't do that, but since I did, he lived with such little HP. You can see I try to dive there, but I really don't have my ultimate, so I can't finish off that Kali. There was a pretty greedy play. The Zephy's might have been able to kill me there if he just ulted onto where I use the second part of my first skill. Again, being a bit too greedy under tower with Nakroth. He's not the best tower diver, so to speak, in the late game anyways. You know, you use your ult on somebody and it's basically a death sentence, because you're just taking free hits from their entire team and the tower. So unless you're like 5k gold ahead, it's really not too ideal. As you can see here, Zephy's running for his life from my team. We're just going to pick that up super nicely right there. Yeah, that took a while actually. some objectives here that we can do. Dark Slayer, of course, that's going to be pretty important when, of course, you're ahead in games like this. You just want to be ending as fast as possible. You don't want to be giving them all the time to be building revives. You can see we just quickly burst down that Kali. No words there. Like, I have nothing to say. Just we bursted her. Literally nothing to commentate about there. You can see that I'm very low HP, so now we're going to be making our 10 Reeves go to work, the 10 purple Arcanas that we're using. We're going to go and get this build. Look at that, 900 HP from one hit, boys. That is why you always need Reeves on Nakroth. There's seriously no replacement for Reeves on Nakroth. There's nothing, no other Arcana that can do what the Reeve does. Attack speed and the damage, the Gorilla and Assassinate, they're not good on Nakroth because his movement does not come from his movement speed. It comes from all of his dashes. And we clear the spot wave, and that's like a full item right there, guys. The amount of cannon minions in that wave was completely ridiculous. But yeah, we were able to pick up the dragon as well and pick up my red buff. Red buff, super important on Nakroth. On many heroes, I would have just maybe skipped over that, but since we need to be chasing our kills, it's kind of like Quillen or Rourke, where you can't let your kills escape you, so we definitely needed to take that into account. And here now we are doing the Dark Slayer now that we are at our double buffs. And here's another important thing, guys. You can see that I was going to say Darkbreaker, oh my god. The Dark Slayer CC'd us, but we did use our ultimate. That is a very good tip when you are trying to secure objectives on Nakroth. You use your ult at the very last second and punish as well. Anyways, here you can see we're panning our map. We're just waiting very patiently, and we instantly jump onto them. We use our basic attack, guys, before we ult. Again, well, I'm going to do a slower replay of this, but you guys have to watch it. Also, look at this. The Kali just eats dirt there. 2-shot. Here, I had to edit this and make it slow just so you guys could see. I'm sorry if this is like noob tips for anyone. But again, look at this. Basic attack. You have to be doing that. Nakroth will lose so much damage if you do not weave those basic attacks in. If I just went straight for the ult there, maybe I would have killed him anyways because I'm so far ahead. But that's just the way better ideal thing to do. Just basic attack all the time. And you can see again that Kali just got double crit to the face with like, I don't even know how much crit rate we have. We have 16%, so it's actually very unfortunate for her. But yeah, super nice plays, and I really just had to slow that down. I feel like that's one of the biggest Nakroth tips, just being able to basic attack in between. And again, guys, the diving, I have a problem. I need to go get help because I just want to be diving on this Nakroth, and we almost died again. The 3 times that we almost died this entire game were due to the tower dives, and I'm a very good Nakroth. Maybe not the best in the world or anything like that, but I'm a very good Nakroth, so it's definitely a good tip to take. Just don't try to tower dive as much as I did in this video when trying to get kills, especially on tankier heroes. You know, Valheim, he does build a bit tankier, but that doesn't really mean it. Definitely, though, the Zephyrs and the Arthur dives were uncalled for. See here, 331 stars. It's a little bit like late of a video. Now we're at like 400 and something. But you can see that 33% damage, and I don't even want to look at the amount of gold we got per minute. Probably about 1,000 or something like that. Completely insane. But I don't even look at the stats for too long, so I can't really say. But yeah, the main idea to get from that match is basic attack before you use your ultimate. Again, I slowed it down. If you want to go back again and just watch, 90% of that Valheim's HP went away from the basic attack. And tower diving, super important not to do too much. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this guide on Nakroth, and I hope it helps you guys reach your goals in AOV. I truly do mean that. Have a great day, everybody.